everyone. Welcome to another episode of Help with Natalie Cuomo. I'm here today with amazing comedian. You might know her from Jackass Forever, Rachel Wolfson.
Thank you so much for having me.
What's up, Rachel?
What's going on?
I'm so happy that you're doing my podcast.
I just ran into you on the street. I hear my name and I was like, I wonder who that is.
And it was
you.
me.
Yeah, I love that. Good moment.
And now I'm high.
Yeah, good New York moment. Well, I was like smoking a blunt on the street because that thing I love about New York, like I literally walked right by a guy who was rolling up a blunt. It looked beautiful. And I took my earphone out and I go, cheers. And we had a moment because I could see him like laughing through the licking. And I was like, I fucking love New York. Like,
oh my God. I had an opposite New York moment today.
What happened?
I was like at lunch with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, and I was like, I'm staying at her house in LA, actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I was like pulling up my flight for coming home. And she's like, oh, maybe I'll go back to New York with you. And that's why I was on my phone. This guy walked by. I guess he thought we were on a date. And he started yelling at me. And he's like, put your phone away. Look at her. And then he called me like, I know.
This just happened?
Yeah, like at lunch today.
This guy just like walked by.
Yeah, dude. And then I was like, please leave me alone. He just stood there and he kept like doing that.
Oh my God.
And I like took out my phone to start recording and he walked away. Is that crazy?
Well, you know, it's
it was
not
a New York moment.
I wouldn't even say it's like crazy. It's just New York. Like literally yesterday, this old Asian woman was pushing her like belongings and she just like pushed them right into me. Like I was like, that's so New York. I was in her way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I fell back into another guy. He caught me. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York, baby. I have so many questions to ask you about Jackass. Do you get tired of talking about it?
No. I
really?
love it. Yeah. It's me. It's part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm grateful for it. I'm just not sick of it yet. And I hope I never get sick of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I have a whole slew of questions then. Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. First thing, it's so fucking exciting that you're like the first woman part of the Jackass team. Like, how does that feel?
It feels great. I mean, honestly, they did have like and have always included women in some aspects. And to be honest, there's so many women who work behind the scenes of Jackass. People I think would be surprised and in power positions. But as the official title, as a cast member, it's like so cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that they're definitely inclusive. I didn't mean it that way, but
no. It's not you. It's because people sometimes have a problem with like first official girl of Jackass, like the fans and stuff. And I never want to disrespect the fans, and I always want to honor them. And they're right in a sense of there was this girl, Stephanie Hodge, and she was beautiful and badass, and she got severely hurt. And I think from that moment on, they kind of were like, we're not going to include women in stunts anymore, because there's a line where seeing women get severely hurt is not funny, and they're always coming from a comedic place, which is what I've always loved and respected about Jackass. And when they stumbled upon me, it was kind of like the perfect fit. Like you couldn't have made a more perfect role meant for me, in a sense.
What do you feel like made it the perfect fit? Like what?
I think I'm comfortable with male nudity. I love Jackass. I grew up a fan. So coming in, I kind of knew what to expect in a sense of like the type of things I might see or might happen on set. And I think that might make some people, specifically women, uncomfortable. So for me, I always come at it from a comedic place, and that's why the male nudity doesn't bother me. Seeing people get hurt, the guys get hurt, that can make someone uncomfortable. It's people like Knoxville almost died twice in this movie, so it's that. And then they wanted a comedian, and they wanted initially someone who would roast the guys, but the thing about that is I didn't know exactly what they wanted from me when they hit me up, because I'm a writer, obviously a stand-up. I don't have a stunt background, but I fell in love with stunts and pranks along the way. And I think my role kind of evolved as they saw that I was down. Like from the moment I stepped onto set, I was like, I'm coming from a place of yes, and I trust what they have in store for me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a moment where you were like in the middle of a stunt and you're like, holy shit, like I'm not ready to do this again?
There wasn't like one where I was like, I'm not ready to do this again, but the scorpion bit, that was like, oh my God, how many times am I going to have to do this? Because it was so painful.
Yeah.
And I just, I let there, we used like 3 different types of scorpions, but there was only one that was shown.
Oh my God. How does that feel that it wasn't even shown? And
the one that was like even the most painful was the one that didn't even make, like the one that looked the scariest made the shot, and that one wasn't great either, but the one that was most painful was smaller. And so it just didn't look as good, but that's the one I'm initially reacting to in the shot where I'm like sweating and like tears are coming from my eyes and I'm having like a reaction from the venom and the bites. Yeah. So
what was the what was it like afterwards recovering from that? Like how long did you feel the pain?
It was like a couple days, but they had a medic on set who was ready to administer any like I think he was going to give me like a Benadryl or something, but I refused it because they wanted to see how big my lips would plump up. They wanted like my lips to get cartoon, but my lips just didn't get as big as they anticipated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they need a bigger stinger. I don't know. Size does matter, I guess.
Did you have anxiety about it?
I mean, I did, and that's a thing, like, as you can see in Jackass, like the guys are notorious for the way they react to the pain that they're experiencing. And here I am, a woman going through painful things, and my reaction is kind of the opposite. I'm very stoic. I'm very like, in my mind, I'm losing my shit. I'm keeping it together because I think for women, we're taught like to go through pain silently, like, period pain or whatever, any kind of symptoms from that. There have been times like at work where we're just not able to go home because they'll fire you. You have to work through the pain. And I'm the type of girl who my periods are like debilitatingly painful, like the cramps and just like the mental stuff that I go through. I get such bad cramps that I'll pass out. And if I don't, and even like Advil and stuff doesn't work. So I have to be on birth control. And it's the only thing that like fixes that because I'll be out of work for a week and I can't do that. I can't afford to. So for me, even I had my period on the first day of set on Jackass too. And I'm like taking like Midol, I'm just like trying to deal with that. But like, I just think that the way I reacted was the way that I handle pain sometimes. And that's just, I'm talking myself through the trauma or whatever I'm experiencing. Because I told myself I wasn't going to cry on set. Like I didn't want to be the girl that like cried or lost her shit. And I think, there's something to that. Because like if I were to react like cry or like whatever, that's inauthentic to me. But I mean, I did start to cry with the scorpion. Like I wasn't like ugly face cry level at that moment. But like tears were coming down and
oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's me.
I think it's true. I mean, people always say that women have a much higher pain tolerance than men. And I do believe that. I mean, childbirth.
Yeah.
Damn. I felt like you really did keep it together, like especially the mime challenge. You were smiling.
Yeah, I mean, I had never licked a taser, but I've never even worked with a taser before until that moment. We used 2 different types. That's why you'll see 2 different types in the shot. People call me out about that. And that's because initially we shot with one and the current wasn't as strong on tape. So Tremaine, the director, wanted to shoot it again. And that's why you see a different taser. And that one was way more powerful. Like my whole body vibrated. And yeah, like that was painful. I mean,
what's something about like doing stunts that you never would have guessed before, like actually doing it?
How much I enjoy the feeling that it gives me when you do like the rush of, just like adrenaline. And then like the reaction with a group of people and like the experience of like laughter and emotion and it's fun. Stunt work is fun. Yeah.
It's so crazy. Like I can't imagine how much you must bond with like the team like that. I can't imagine a stronger way to bond with a cast.
Yeah, I mean they really truly are a huge family that's that I'm like so grateful to be like a part of, and they welcomed me, and you know, I just I really love them, and I had like a very positive experience on my first movie, and I'm grateful for like the friendships that like I can text any of them and they'll give me advice, and you know, I talk to them often, so we're all in a group chat.
I love that.
So yeah.
Do you feel like you talk about Jackass in your stand-up a lot? Like how has it informed your stand-up?
So I've started to build, you know, material on it because it is an experience I went through that I you know, I'm trying to find obviously the funny and all of it, because in itself, it's a hilarious,
totally,
you know, thing to be a part of and to go through. So, I just, I've been working on that material and, you know, writing and adding to it and processing and just, having fun with that.
It looks so fun. Like you killed it.
Thank you.
You fucking crushed it.
Hell yeah.
I was so impressed by the way you held it together with that scorpion. Like even when it was like crawling all over you.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I have a tattoo of a scorpion.
Yeah,
it was like
same.
one of my first tattoos.
We have another one.
Really?
Matching.
Oh
my God.
We have two matching tattoos.
Yep. Same.
I'm just like, holy shit, like the real version of this actually crawling on you, like no.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then like the picture of you where like after with the stings, damn.
Yep.
You're such a badass.
Thank you.
Like it's so badass.
Hell yeah.
I'm so impressed.
Thank you. I live for that.
It's like, you know, I feel like it's the lifestyle. It's a badass lifestyle.
I don't know. I just think like, you know, it's good to have representation, obviously, you know, and this is an area where there aren't a lot of, I think, women really being represented, because there are a lot of great stunt women. And I was just lucky to even like be a part of working with these guys who are professionals in so many different avenues of all that kinds of work. So very cool experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I always ask every guest the best advice they ever received.
So I like tend to write down sayings and things that I'll stumble upon or hear from people. So I have a few. There's, you know, in regards to haters, which I think we all deal with, is would you trade places with that person? And most often it's no, you would never trade places with that person. They're hating on you because they would rather trade places with you.
Right.
And then just show up and be nice. That's another one. And then just the classic, like, don't, you know, if they're not fucking you, feeding you, or financing you, you don't really care what that person thinks. I don't know.
Those are all really good. Yeah. I like the haters one. Like, would you trade places with that person? Because of course we both like deal with haters and stuff, and everyone does.
Yeah.
It is a good, it's a good point to make. Like that, fuck that person.
Yeah. But oftentimes the hater is yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Like you're your own worst critic.
Yeah.
And like if you loved yourself more, you wouldn't even care what other people
exactly.
thought.
Yeah, that's the trick, actually. But yeah, I mean, my dad always just tells me over and over to be a good person. That's ultimately what I want to be.
Yeah.
So that's a work in progress thing.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, we were talking about this earlier. We're both like people in stand-up that like both found success like early on in our career. And I think that that's such an interesting thing to navigate in the comedy scene. Like, I feel that advice of just like be a good person has helped me so much to just like, keep my head high and just as much as you want to just like sometimes I just want to be like angry and
well, at the end of the day, like people only want to work with cool people and people they can rely on and are loyal. So as long as you possess those qualities on top of the natural talent, that's there, then you'll go far.
Yeah.
But I think for us, like we're a new gen, new wave. We kind of figured out how to utilize the internet to our benefit.
Yeah.
And I think that some of the some people who just like haven't found their path or lane can find that intimidating naturally. Like, that's just what happens when time goes on and industries change and evolve. I mean, like there was a time when comedians would never put up clips of themselves.
Right.
And respectfully, like I totally get it because like my OJ joke is so played out. Sometimes I'm like, I'll get comments like that, but then I realize, there's so many people who still haven't seen that joke and it's going to evolve and change. And like true comedy fans will never like complain.
Yeah.
But I've kind of stopped putting up clips for a while because I've really been trying to work on jokes and writing full bits and then kind of releasing it. But I also think that if you're a comedian and you're a writer, like there's always going to be more material. So like,
right.
Don't get so like pent up or held up on, am I going to burn this material?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think that some people realize the benefit in doing that, and there is a benefit, and there's also, I think I don't know what the negative side is. I don't know if there really is, but
I mean, I think it's honestly a good motivator. Like, say you are burning material, like that should be encouraging you to write more. I think that like at the end of the day, like getting the most eyes on yourself is the most important thing in this in this industry. And like for me, the biggest way to push myself to write is burning material. Like I'm literally forcing myself. I'm like, everyone has seen this. I literally have to keep writing to keep working.
Totally. And I think that it works and it's working for you and like that. And when you find something that works and you have that momentum, like fuck everyone else,
Literally.
So, but yeah, I just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate. I don't know. Don't care.
So if you had to pick LA or New York, which one would it be?
For what?
Overall.
Obviously for comedy, I would pick New York. It's very clear. Like, I mean, anytime you encounter a New York comedian who comes to LA, they are exponentially better than the comics at the same level in LA. You guys just really get beaten into comedy here, and good for you guys. Like, I'm so jealous. And it's really cool that there is a place like that for comics where it really is about becoming a good comedian. It's not about using comedy to get famous, because no one really uses that here. It's people really want to do comedy. So in terms of comedy, I would say New York. But I bet there are comics who like prefer LA because they're probably at a higher level and they get better spots and, they like the scene more. But definitely for me, food, New York, weed, LA.
For sure.
But all the weed in New York is from LA. So, I mean, they both have their ups and downs.
Yeah. I'm excited to visit LA. I haven't been there in a while.
When was the last time you were there?
Like 2019.
Before the pand? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is like LA is like still is open you know, the clubs are open, restaurants are open.
I went after the Pand, actually.
Okay.
Pand.
The Pand.
2021, I think I went.
Yeah. So, so you'll know. I mean, like, things are, LA is LA.
Yeah.
You know? It's very, it's nice, good weather.
Yes. I'm excited for that. The beach, maybe.
Yep. And you're going to be at the Haha.
Yeah, and you're going to be there too.
I'm going to be on that show.
August 26th at 10 p.m. It's going to be so fun.
People come out.
Oh my God. It's literally going to be so
time.
fucking fun. I'm so excited.
I live, not too far, so we love that.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I've been like wanting to do an LA show for so long and then finally booked a date. Stoked.
Love that. And are you going anywhere else? Like where else have you been traveling?
I'm gonna do San Diego in I think it's the last weekend in September.
Oh, you're coming back out? Mm-hmm. You'll have to double up on an LA.
Yeah, I could do
because it's like 2 hours, but really 4 with traffic. Which club are you doing in San Diego?
American Comedy.
Okay. I've done that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I featured for for someone there. So
totally. I like that club.
It was an awesome
smoke
room.
Weed in the green room.
I know. It was so fun.
I love a green room you can smoke weed in.
And I love that the green room's like a trap door.
Yep.
It's a very cool theme. Mm-hmm. I love it there. So
fun.
I'm stoked.
Yep.
Been wanting to go to the West Coast. East Coast is cool, but it's just a whole other vibe.
I guess it's like different because when you live here, like what would you say the vibe is? Like how would you describe the vibe?
Here?
Yeah.
In New York?
Yeah, from your perspective, and then the vibe from your perspective for the West Coast.
In terms of comedy or life?
Both.
Comedy, I think like the writing in New York is like unbeatable, and I think the hustle is just unbeatable. Like I really have the utmost respect for New York comics, and like I think they work very hard and are very talented. But I feel like in LA, I think the comics have like a very good stage presence. Like the stages there are so big that I feel like you can really explore that.
Yeah.
That's like what I noticed.
Totally.
But New York is so cramped and like people get so agitated.
Yeah.
And it just can be suffocating.
I saw this guy filming this couple yesterday they were fighting over a parking spot, the three of them, this couple and this guy, because the wife got out and saved this spot for her husband, and then some guy was just like having a problem with it, so they're fighting over it, and like the guy was filming the couple, and then like, you know, the husband had a problem with the guy filming his wife, and then we're all standing around and like people are filming them, filming the guy, filming the wife, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so New York.
It's so ridiculous.
It's just what is happening over a parking spot.
The work ethic.
But then I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that happening in LA. You know, people are fighting over parking there too.
That's true. But the yelling, it's like so much more aggressive.
Oh, there's so much yelling. Yeah, that's also LA too. Walk down Hollywood Boulevard. Everybody's yelling. Yeah. Chaos.
They're pretty similar.
Yeah, definitely. Just like a different flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Totally.
So, okay, your joke about OJ is that your mom put him away?
Yeah, my mom was his judge for the robbery case in Las Vegas.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like?
I was in college when she got the case. She was like, it was like randomly assigned, but like all the judges wanted it. My mom was like, whatever. She wasn't like desperate for she's not like that, but it was randomly assigned to her. And so, yeah, I was in Florida when it happened, and I would watch it on TV like every day.
Whoa.
Or whenever it was on. Yeah, I think it was like a 3-week trial.
I love that your mom was like, whatever, and every other judge wanted it.
Yeah, because they knew how much publicity the case would get, because obviously it was like his murder trial was like one of the biggest cases of all time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it weird watching your mom on?
It wasn't like weird because she was a TV news reporter growing up. So, like that's where she started before she went to law school.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I've always kind of seen them on TV.
Okay.
Locally, like, but I just thought, I mean, it was cool to see my mom on TV, I guess, on like a national level.
Did you? Yeah.
So.
Did you always know you were going to do comedy?
No, like I kind of stumbled in, but when I look back at like my life, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Like everything kind of led me to comedy. I did improv as a kid. I was a funny kid. And I had ADHD and I was bouncing off the walls, total distraction, always in the principal's office, class clown, never serious. And so, yeah, I did improv as a kid and I liked comedy. I would watch stand-up on TV. My parents watched stand-up and musicals and comedies and everything like that. And then when I got to college, as soon as I turned 21, when I was living in Florida, I started going to stand-up shows at the Improvs down there.
Oh, cool.
And I saw Mike Epps, John Lovitz, Bob Saget. I got to see some really, really good comedians. And I just remember feeling like, that there was this like magnet of like, oh, what they do is so powerful and so cool. And it just I never thought of it as like it was never like, I couldn't even fathom the path to get there. It was like these people were just like superheroes. Like they were as they were, like they had always been. I don't know. So that was college. And then I moved to LA and I started working in different jobs in LA, and then everything sucked. Every job I had sucked. I worked corporate, restaurant industry, and then I took a break from corporate because it was like taking a toll on my mental health. And then I decided to get back in, and I found a post on LinkedIn for a social media manager at a company that owned one of the comedy clubs, and like they own one of the biggest comedy club franchises across the country. And the job was to like basically manage the social media for a number of their clubs. So like I would be the person who would be you would see posting on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, like come out and see, John Lovitz or, Dane Cook or whoever. And it would be like the picture, and then it would be a meme, or, I'm the person like doing all of that for multiple clubs. So it was like I was doing this like comedic voice and like advertising. And it was the first time I was like, oh, I am finally advertising something that I like, which is comedy.
That's cool.
So, and then I would go to the clubs. I would get to like see, as much free comedy, obviously. And it was encouraged, and got to know the staff, and it was like everything was bringing me closer to the stage. And then I ended up working at in-house for a year, and then I told them that I wanted to do stand-up. And so the manager of the club gave me a job as a bartender. I was a bartender at the Hollywood Improv. That's the company that it was.
Cool.
And they don't really hire like young women to do those jobs. It's usually like old men who like have been working there for 100 years, and they like are honestly celebrities themselves. So it was really cool that the manager there like, gave me a chance. And I was there for like 6 months. Then I started doing stand up, and then I just like left and like really went hard with. I told myself I'm just going to commit really, really hard, because when you're bartending at a comedy club, you're not out doing comedy. Because
it's the same
hours. And then
hours.
people see you as the bartender at the comedy club. They don't respect you as a comedian. And that's what I wanted. But it was good because it was like training and like getting the ropes of a club, how a club worked, like what do comedians do, like, how they hold the microphone, like watching people perform, watching the best comedians perform. Like so anyways. And then I started going really, really hard at the mics as much as I could in Los Angeles. And at the time, this was before the pandemic, there were a lot more open mics, and you could hit 5 mics in a night, but you're driving all up and down the city, and it's exhausting. And you're burning so much gas, and you're pissed because of the it's not like here you can like walk to a million shows. You could hit 10 shows a night here. Yeah. You could never do that in LA.
Yeah, if you have 2, it's like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. You're like a hot shot. But like, I remember one night I hit 5 mics in LA, and I was so mad at the end of the night.
You're like, God damn
I did not feel like a better comic or a better person. I wanted to kill someone, mainly myself. But yeah, it was, but that's what I did. And that's what I did for years, until I got I mean, I still do that, but until I got the DM from Johnny Knoxville.
Right. He DM'd you. That's how you got on Jackass, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, like, I said this the other day on another podcast, like, for any comedian or anyone who's like pursuing something, there are people who are watching our stuff, not creepily, but like, you know, people who want to book potentially agents, managers, casting directors, producers. They all follow us and see what we're doing, and they're watching us for years and watching us develop ourselves until like an opportunity that's perfect for you. For example, for me, it was Jackass.
Yeah.
And like something that's like the new wave. That's how we get to, like, that's the modern way of getting discovered in a sense.
Right. They don't have to go to clubs anymore.
It's not about like literally hustling every night at a club thinking like a manager is going to walk in. It's like, no, the manager's at home drinking a glass of wine, scrolling through Instagram. That's their work, trying to find the next big thing. And it's not necessarily something that's in LA or New York. It could be in the middle of the country because they have the talent and they're self-producing.
I think people are definitely paying attention to self-produced stuff in a way that didn't exist before.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, I still think it's possible to get discovered at a club and like have someone submit you, but I just don't think that, I just think that's few and far between. Like, that's just not, if you're, you know, that's I
mean, at the end of the day, I think the most valuable thing in the world is building your own fan base, the people that support you. Like, that's the most valuable thing.
Way the club is like, that's your platform in a sense of, you go to the club to film the content that you're going to get put on the stage that is the world is known as Instagram. So it's like, in a sense, yeah, you do need the club.
Yes,
you know?
Totally.
And we love the clubs, but do I think that the manager is going to walk in and be like, that person? It's like, odds are the manager's already seen you. They're there because they've already seen you and they're checking you out in person.
It's so funny because I really think that like you need to be seen multiple times by someone in order for them to actually do something. Like, I feel like there are so many times someone's been like, this person's here. And it's like, I think it's very rare that someone's somewhere and sees you for the first time and decides to book you for something. Like, I feel like someone has to see you a bunch of times in person, like for them to be like, okay, yes, I want to work with you. And I think there's like this weird misconception about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
I don't know. I just feel like people have this weird idea that they're going to like be performing somewhere. Someone's going to see them one time and be like, I'm changing your life this one night. And like, it just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think honestly, like, I just know that the last thing I ever thought was that like Knoxville would like hire me on Instagram.
Right.
But I'm glad it happened that way. So.
Yeah. I guess you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I did actually, there was a night when I first started comedy, I did get a job from someone seeing me at the Comedy Store. It was a job in radio, but as we know, radio is like a like dying medium, but still it was an opportunity and it was like, it was cool. And so that like, but that stuff is, I think, just more rare now.
I mean, there's definitely like, yeah. I don't know. I think it's such a brutal world.
Yeah. But at least like we like it, you know. It's one thing if like, yeah, like I wouldn't ever recommend someone get involved in this industry if they didn't love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to love comedy. You just have to like, it has to be the only thing that you love to do.
Pretty much. There's no room for like anything else. This is a relationship.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But I mean, I did have so much fun last night at the Stand. We're all just hanging out.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
I love that place.
The Stand is like my favorite fucking club.
Love it.
I love the Stand so much.
We stand the Stand.
We stand the Stand.
I love all the staff there. Everyone is like so dope.
Yeah.
I think it's the perfect club. Sorry. Really do.
Do you think that you're gonna do another Jackass movie?
If they ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say yes.
Would you ever do do you think about other stunts that you would do?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about some dumb shit I can hurt myself with for like America's entertainment, or at least the world. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to burn the material
don't
here.
Burn it.
But yeah, I'm just down. let's like see the line where
Right.
it's funny and painful and women, you know?
What's your like, I mean, did you have like a biggest fear going into the movie? Like,
I was just like worried they wanted to see my butthole, but like I'm glad, you know.
you have a joke about seeing each other's butthole. Do you feel like buttholes are like
humor.
the most vulnerable part of the body?
I don't know if it's like, I think it's different for everyone, but I don't know. I feel like they like really play a lot with that. And for me, I'm just like, it's not funny for me. I don't know. I don't think it's funny for anyone else. I think it's like, if I did any of that stuff, it's immediately sexual.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah, I just, but yeah, they didn't, but I did have to see their buttholes. So that was like a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's fine. And then like we were super close after that.
Well, as you are after you see someone's butthole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I know how you usually ask the audience about their buttholes.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes?
I've tried to like take it back because it can get dark.
What's the craziest thing anyone's ever said?
This guy, he was like married to his wife for like 30 years and he was like, I've never seen her butthole. And I was like, that is so insane to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Like how?
What made you like think of wanting
I don't
to
know.
ask people
I
this?
feel like I also try, like, I feel like it does kind of make sometimes the audience uncomfortable. So I really have to like pick like what kind of freaky couple.
I love it though.
You know? But what made me think about that? I don't know. I just like, I think that's why Knoxville, like, I write a lot of Jackass style stuff, like butthole, cum jokes, dick jokes. Oh, and that's so like, obviously I find the penis is hilarious to me, not in a degrading way. I love men. I love penis.
That's very nice
I mean,
of you to
my
clarify.
boyfriend. No, but like I made a comment in like an interview or something about how I think the penis is hilarious. And that is in the most respectful way. And here's the thing. When women find something funny, it's probably we find it sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if you're funny, you're more sexy to me than if you're not funny.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
Then this like men's rights activist group,
Oh,
which
wow.
is a thing, came after me and like tried to make it seem like I'm like making fun of men, which it's like, okay, what if I was? But I'm not in this case at all. But also the Jackass guys think the penis is hilarious. That's
Right.
why it's everywhere in the movie. Like,
I think the penis is also hilarious.
yes, it's great. We love a penis. It's a great body part. It's hilarious.
I think it's funny how different all of them are.
Yeah,
it's
so
crazy. Like that moment before you grab it, and you
it's
just
like the same with vaginas.
surprise.
There's equality with that
Vaginas too. Well,
the same. They're all different.
they are.
All you know.
They're not
whatever.
as funny as penises, to be honest. But
they're definitely exactly.
but penises are funny in a lovely way. I love penises.
Exactly.
I love dick.
Yes, and you roast the ones you love. You know,
Yeah.
and but not even that. Like it wasn't in a degrading way.
Wow,
And
imagine
I hope these men understand where I'm coming from.
Imagine like I read all my hate comments as like you roast the ones you love. I would have such an ego. I really would have. I know
Yeah.
that I have this sign in my room. The only thing on my wall says "Love your haters. They're your biggest fans." But I guess that's the same as roast the ones you love.
Yeah.
But wow,
Yeah.
I mean, I really
Yeah.
have to think about that.
Yep.
I'm getting so many hate comments these days. Like,
Yeah, but like, I mean, at least they're paying you the attention.
yeah, it helps the algorithm.
You know? Exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but it's. I guess that they love it. You roast the ones you love.
Mm-hmm. They took time out of their day to pay attention to you. Like they have kids, families, wives, but they're like, no, let me just like go on Natalie's page and
Tell her that she sucks.
yeah, just like take the time. Yeah. It's like
It's so good.
if only their family members knew what they were really doing,
I know. It's so,
they would be jealous.
Do you ever have, I guess, you do a lot of stuff with Matt, but sometimes I have people like hit on me when they obviously have like in my DMs and they obviously have a wife or a girlfriend and it's in their picture. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, like I'll get messages about how guys like want to eat cereal out of my booty hole and it's like in their profile picture with their like wedding
I know. I'm just like, do you know that this
But
is...
I post like, I have my
You have Wolfie DMs.
Yeah, Wolfie DMs, but I post those anonymously out of respect for like...
That's nice of you.
Because one, I don't want the quality of the DMs to go down. I want them to be, you know, and the authenticity. But two, I don't want to like destroy anyone's family.
And three, some people get off on the humiliation.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I think it's that time in my podcast, now that I've destroyed a paper towel, I like to pull a tarot card at the end of the podcast.
Yes.
I like to see like, okay, this is a brand new deck. I haven't even opened it yet. And I like to see if the card like encapsulated the energy of the podcast.
Okay.
The last 2 episodes, I forgot my deck. And
No.
I've had one for like every episode. All right, this is going to be embarrassing.
Wait, this is so cool. I want to see.
I usually have one for every single episode. I'm so sorry that I forgot at the last. It's because I recorded both of them in the same day, and I was running out of the house. I'm sorry. And oh my God, Rachel, can I tell you the most embarrassing? Can you open this?
Yes.
I did the most embarrassing thing. So did I tell you? Stop me if I've told you this, but
Okay.
on Wednesday, I had this awesome show in the Jersey Shore. It was
Okay.
opening for Don Jameson and Uncle Vinny's. It was like Joey Diaz popped in,
What?
Jim Florentine. It was such a fun show. Awesome show. And David Bryan was there, and he's my friend Gabby's dad too. It was just awesome. Great show. It's about an hour and a half from my house. And I had my period. I have a heavy flow as well.
Yeah.
Heavy flow.
Yes.
And these cards are fucking awesome. And first of all, I noticed like, oh, my period went through my pants a tiny bit.
Yep.
Love that for us.
Classic.
But I don't think no one could tell, and I just did that wrap my sweatshirt around thing. Then I'm like ready to go, and I'm looking for my car keys. Did I tell you this? At the
No.
stand? Okay. I can't find my car keys literally anywhere, like anywhere. I'm like looking in my bag. I just simply can't find my car keys.
Where did they go?
And I said bye to everyone. I went back to my car and I'm like, where are my keys? Then this is not like me. Literally on the last episode, I had Jim on. He was like, you never lose your keys. You never lose anything. Then I walked back in. I was like, guys, I can't find my car keys. The staff's looking for them. All the other comics, the booker, like everyone's looking for my car keys. My car keys are not found. Jim fucking drives me back to Jersey. Like, it's so nice of him. Gives me a ride home. And I literally have to leave my car in the Jersey Shore. And my mom drives me to get my car the next morning.
And then where were your keys? You just never found them?
Yeah.
So you have a spare?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. It's not a fob, though. It's like,
So you have to get a new... Damn.
yeah. Anyway.
Classic stoner move. Were you even stoned? No.
I bet it wouldn't have happened if I was stoned, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyway, that's my life. These are kind of stuck together. Have you ever done anything like that?
Matt left his backpack in the airport
Okay, that makes
on the way here.
Oh, that's
Yeah, straight
okay.
up. I was like, that's like the number one, like literally like number one.
So then what happened?
That's it. That's the end of the
That
story.
makes me feel so much better. I'm sorry about his backpack.
He had like
what was
shoes
in it? Okay.
Yeah, he had like shoes. I was like, all right, whatever.
Why are these so stuck together?
It's the summer. I think they like melted. I feel like everything just gets hot here
Yeah.
and melts.
He just left it in the airport?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Classic.
Okay, that's a little bit like my key story.
Yeah.
Not as bad because,
Classic.
I mean, to be fair, I got to have a whole day with my mom on the beach because of it. We had to drive back to
Yeah.
the beach. We had some lobster rolls.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, but fucking...
Well, I bet you they'll probably turn up. Where do you think you left them? They just like fell out of your purse?
I guess some girl is convinced that I flushed them down the toilet. I'm like, I don't know.
Crisis.
I don't think that like I would flush keys down the toilet.
No.
Like I don't think they would go.
I also just, like I feel like you would have like heard that.
Do you want to shuffle them?
Yeah. These are big cards, but luckily I have big hands. I tried to do it like Vegas style.
Yeah.
How many times should I shuffle them?
However many you want.
Were they in a specific order when you...
Usually they're just in the order, like...
A random order?
No, they'd be in, like, the order of, like, the major arcana and then, like, separated by, like, the suit.
Well, there should be, like, a card shuffler.
There should. But then you wouldn't be putting your energy into them.
You're right. Oh, that's smart. Okay.
Okay, also... All right. Oh, wow. Should we pick this card or this card?
This one's on top.
Okay. Pentacle. Is this the Two of Pentacles? Okay.
Is that good?
I don't know. It's like pentacles are like money and material things.
We love that.
Yeah, but it's only 2.
Oh, no.
Okay. 2. We are in front of 2 aspects of the same thing that once united will be ready to fly, but not until a great transformation has occurred. The transfer, however, will be precarious and full of obstacles and worries. What? The desire to conclude a situation that is currently on hold, such as a contract or financial project, could result in arguments or problems.
Is this a good card?
I don't think the Two of Pentacles is good.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what this means.
Well, is there more?
The advice of the dead: moderate spending and acquisitions for the moment and wait to be. It's like saying, like, we don't have much money right now.
Okay.
And that that like 2 things, like there are 2 elements. That once they're united, it'll be fucking rock and roll. But something that's like kind of
okay. So
has to
I
happen
am
first.
no. Okay. So how I interpret this card for me is I'm like waiting, waiting to hear about maybe a job or an opportunity and things need to align in order for that to happen. And like there's some more. Yeah. So like that's a good one. Let's draw another one.
I see that. Okay. Should we?
It's not negative.
Yeah. Okay.
Take that. Don't put it back in because I don't want to get it again.
The world is good.
Okay, we got the world.
Oh yeah.
That makes up for the other one.
Thank God.
I'm gonna get Chinese food tonight.
Ooh.
Yep.
What are you gonna order?
I don't know, but you're welcome to come if you want.
Yay. Okay, the world. The card of total realization, of expansion and achievement. Of course. Love this for us.
We do.
The world brings with it a slow but constant and determined evolution towards success, fullness, towards one's real personal and professional objectives, as if toward the transformation and discovery of a new balance at the peak of a cycle. If this card presents itself at the beginning of a reading, it could bring up a problem connected to a difficult beginning of something, where a premature realization is necessary before the action, a contraction of time with the risk of not being able to conclude what necessary, or else the emergence of egocentric. It wasn't at the beginning of the reading, so it's fine. The advice of the dead: do not give up and do not be afraid. The road you have taken is the right one, and whatever difficulty you find will be brief, and you will achieve the results you desire.
Yay! That's what we want. That's a good card. That's a good card. That's a good card.
Rachel, where can people find you?
Well, they can find me avoiding all the negative things that are happening in the first card. But you can find me on Instagram at Rachel Wolfson and my DMs page at Wolfie DMs. I post like the best, worst, and everything in between anonymous DMs that I receive. And then at Wolfie Comedy on Twitter. I have like a brand identity crisis. I have like several different names and pages. But just follow me wherever you want. Just don't follow me in real life. That's it.
Awesome. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to get the episodes a week early and for awesome bonus content. Thanks, guys. Bye.